Hello Midnights. Thank you for tuning in. Up next, the alleged structure and purpose of Dulce Base. Let us know where you are listening from and don't forget to subscribe. Beneath the windswept mesas of northern New Mexico, near the town of Dulce on the Jicarilla Apache Reservation, lies what many conspiracy theorists consider one of the most secret and terrifying installations on Earth, Dulce Base. According to whistleblowers, researchers, and those immersed in UFO lore, this facility is far more than a military outpost. It is a massive subterranean complex, allegedly housing not only black-budget research programs but also a long-standing and uneasy alliance between the US government and several alien species. The base is said to be carved deep into Archuleta Mesa, accessible only by tightly controlled entry points camouflaged as mundane structures. From the surface, only a few military buildings are visible, but beneath lies a 7-level behemoth of shadowy science and interstellar intrigue. Each level of the base serves a specific function, growing darker and more grotesque the deeper one goes. Levels 1 and 2, these consist of standard security checkpoints and garages for vehicles, along with entry bays linked to a vast tunnel network allegedly connecting Dulce to Area 51, Los Alamos, and NORAD. Level 3, this level is reported to hold administrative offices and human living quarters. Level 4, this is where the experimentation allegedly begins, with claims of research into dream state programming, remote viewing, mind control technologies, and psychic development. It is on levels 5, 6, and 7 that the stories take on the quality of science fiction. These lower levels are said to be the domain of alien life. Level 5, this level reportedly houses the ubiquitous gray aliens, short, large-headed beings with smooth gray skin and oversized black eyes, often reported in abduction cases. These grays are described as tireless and emotionless, operating under a collective hive mind, telepathic in communication, and fixated on genetic and neurological experimentation. Some whistleblowers allege that these beings are not fully biological but are instead synthetic constructs, biorobots engineered by more advanced species to carry out specific duties. Tall Greys, above the Greys in authority, it is claimed, are the so-called Tall Greys, taller, more intelligent, and hierarchically advanced beings from the Orion constellation. These beings allegedly function as diplomats and supervisors, overseeing the genetic programs being conducted in the facility. They are said to be more interactive with human officials and were reportedly present at early treaty negotiations between the US government and extraterrestrial forces. Reptilians, lurking further down the hierarchy, are the Reptilians, beings described as scaled, muscular humanoids with vertical slit eyes and immense psychic abilities. The Reptilians allegedly belong to a caste-based empire originating from the Alpha Draconis star system. Among them are different subspecies, including the Draco Prime, albino, winged royal elites, and the warrior class, who are believed to act as the enforcers within the base. Reptilians are described as manipulative and cruel, with the ability to psychically induce fear, and are rumored to feed off negative human emotional energy. They are said to dominate levels 6 and 7, where the most disturbing experiments occur. Mantis-like beings, beyond these primary groups, accounts also mention mantis-like beings, towering, insectoid creatures with high intelligence and advanced understanding of dimensional physics and consciousness manipulation. These beings are described as emotionally distant yet spiritually advanced, often acting as neural engineers or philosophical overseers. Nordics or Pleiadians, in contrast, the so-called Nordics or Pleiadians, tall, human-looking beings with blonde hair and blue eyes, appear in some narratives as allies of humanity, opposed to the reptilian agenda. Their role is uncertain, with some suggesting they have aided escapes from the base, while others see them as passive observers. Level 6 is known in conspiracy circles as Nightmare Hall. This is where horrific genetic experiments are rumored to take place, chimeric lifeforms created by splicing human, alien, and animal DNA. Stories persist of bat-like humanoids, reptilian-human hybrids, and even cephalopod humanoid blends bred for aquatic labor. There are also reports of clone humans, engineered to perform menial tasks or serve as infiltrators among the surface population. According to supposed security officer Thomas Costello, who claimed to have defected after witnessing these atrocities, some hybrid beings possessed human features with alien enhancements, larger eyes, enhanced reflexes, or psychic abilities, and were often held in containment, monitored closely by both reptilian scientists and human personnel. The lowest level, Level 7, is said to contain cryogenic storage chambers filled with preserved bodies, both alien and hybrid, as well as vats of viscous liquid containing suspended embryos. This level is rarely accessed by humans and is rumored to be heavily guarded by non-human personnel. Numerous whistleblower accounts suggest that this level may be the epicenter of an interspecies conflict that erupted in 1979 when a construction crew accidentally breached a sensitive area. The resulting firefight allegedly killed over 60 military personnel. One of the most well-known sources of this story is Phil Schneider, a geologist and explosives expert who claimed to have survived the battle, only to be hunted and later found dead under suspicious circumstances in 1996. Within the highly classified confines of Alpha Site 7, an alleged codename for Dulce Base, a remarkable and unsettling array of non-terrestrial lifeforms and advanced programs have been detailed in various conspiracy theories. EBA-3 units, Greys, originating from Zeta Reticuli, their primary function at the site involves biological engineering and abductive surveillance. These non-emotive beings operate as a hive intelligence, diligently carrying out joint genetic protocols. Orion entities, Tall Greys, from the Orion Belt, specifically the Betelgeuse sector. They serve as treaty diplomats and program supervisors, distinguished by their advanced telepathic interface. Direct interaction with lower-rank humans is reportedly rare for these beings. Alpha Draconian species, Reptilians, hailing from Alpha Draconis, their role at Alpha Site 7 is that of enforcers and hierarchical command. Documented hostile tendencies necessitate constant and stringent containment protocols for these entities. Insectoid class, Mantis types, their origin remains unknown, with some speculation pointing to an extradimensional source. Their functions include neural mapping and dream interfacing. While appearing non-hostile, they are psychically dominant, requiring strict limitations on proximity exposure to less than 2 minutes. Human-alien hybrids, these beings serve as biological intermediaries, breeders, and lab technicians, having been engineered through a program designated Sector 6C, codenamed Chimera. While generally controlled, there have been documented instances of containment failures, highlighting the inherent challenges in managing such a diverse non-human presence. The scientific work at Dulce, if it exists, pushes far beyond the boundaries of modern biology. Cloning, psychic modification, holographic consciousness projection, and interdimensional interface experiments are all part of the alleged agenda. Energy extraction from human fear or hormonal responses is said to be routine, with some whistleblowers claiming the Reptilians harvest a life force known as Lush. Weaponry in the facility includes beam and frequency-based arms, used both for defense and psychological manipulation. Within the highly compartmentalized structure of Alpha Site 7, several critical operational programs are alleged to be underway, pushing the boundaries of known science and ethics. Gencraft operations, Level 6, these operations are reportedly actively engaged in the creation of hybrid beings through multi-genome recombination. Project Seed Stem specifically utilizes human reproductive tissues in this endeavor. As of the first quarter of 2025, within the narrative's timeline, approximately 8,000 specimens are held within cryostasis vaults, a stark testament to the alleged scale of these biological manipulations. Imprint Neural Control System, Level 4, this chilling program is focused on the testing of REC/EDM signals, remote hypnotic intercerebral conditioning and electronic dissolution of memory. These highly advanced techniques are purportedly employed for the reintegration of field operatives and, disturbingly, abductee populations. Furthermore, the interface has been tested on civilian populations under the classified operation known as Alpha Draconis. Dimensional Field Experiments, Level 5, these experiments are actively exploring transspatial gateways using phase torsion fields. Trials for object phase tunneling, OPT, have been underway since 2018. The inherent dangers of this cutting-edge research are underscored by the fact that 12 personnel are currently listed as missing in action due to containment failures, their status tragically unresolved. A stark and chilling report from Alpha Site 7 details a catastrophic event, the Dulce engagement of August 23, 1979. On that day, at the Level 6 perimeter within the Biolab wing, a civilian contractor unit breached an unauthorized tunnel corridor. This triggered EBA defensive protocols, resulting in horrific casualties, 66 U.S. personnel confirmed killed in action, 19 contractors and 47 military, along with 2 Greys terminated. In the aftermath, Operation Sigma Temporal was initiated. All surviving contractors underwent memory wipes, and their families were tragically issued false death narratives. This entire event was suppressed under MJ-12 Directive 1033A. A chilling footnote reveals that a survivor, identified as Schneider, P. Phil Schneider, was later deemed unstable and terminated under Operation Clean Slate, with a ruling of suicide officially maintained. Current Security Threat Assessment. Within the narrative, the current security threat assessment at Alpha Site 7 paints a grim picture. The Reptilian faction is observed to be increasing its influence over lower program zones. The Grey breeding program output has disturbingly doubled since 2021. Psychic feedback incidents originating from Level 4 are causing significant operator disorientation. Human staff are exhibiting signs of moral degradation, with compliance issues on the rise. The current containment breach probability is assessed at 18%, categorizing it as a Level C threat. In response, the following recommendations have been put forth: a re-evaluation of Treaty 23 Delta under legal and moral grounds, the deployment of counter-psychic containment staff with QSIG clearance, and the preparation of public disinformation protocols in case of a surface incident. A proposed cover story for such an event is a derailed DARPA drone tunnel test. The closing statement of this report offers a stark conclusion. Alpha Site 7 represents the most volatile interface between human sovereignty and exobiological threat. While continued cooperation with non-human entities may offer technological advantages, the profound risk to civilization scenarios necessitate an immediate revisit by the National Security Council. This document, compiled by Colonel A. Landers, MJ-12 Intelligence Liaison, with SIGINT reference Kappa 11/Osiris Vault, is classified top secret, Ultra 6. Reproduction or distribution without Omega level clearance is strictly punishable under U.S. Code Section 798. Despite the depth and consistency of many of these stories, no hard evidence has ever been produced to confirm the existence of Dulce Base. Satellite imagery shows no clear indication of an underground complex, and all alleged witnesses either disappeared, died, or remain anonymous. The most prominent voices, such as Paul Benwitz, who first brought attention to strange signals and phenomena around Dulce, were later discredited or revealed to be targets of government disinformation efforts. Benwitz, in particular, was manipulated by intelligence agents to believe false narratives until he suffered a psychological breakdown. Academics and skeptics argue that Dulce Base represents a modern myth, a paranoid echo of Cold War fears mixed with real psychological operations and filtered through science fiction imagery. Yet the idea endures. It has become a cultural touchstone, inspiring episodes of The X-Files, Ancient Aliens, Stranger Things, and countless internet theories. The meme of Dulce Base remains potent, a metaphor for the hidden, the forbidden, and the terrifying fusion of science and the unknown. The Dulce Base narrative, despite its fantastical elements, offers a profound insight into the human need for explanation and the power of belief, especially when confronted with the unknown or perceived hidden truths. In its intricate detail and persistent cultural presence, the Dulce Base conspiracy theory serves as a powerful testament to how human beings construct meaning and narratives in the face of ambiguity and fear. It illustrates that when official explanations are deemed insufficient or untrustworthy, alternative, often elaborate, narratives will emerge to fill the void. The very act of discrediting can, for some, reinforce the idea that something is being hidden, thus ironically strengthening the conspiracy's appeal. Fear and anxiety, for example, Cold War fears, fear of unknown technologies, fear of government control, are potent ingredients for the proliferation of such narratives. The Dulce Base story synthesizes these anxieties into a tangible, if mythical, threat, providing a focal point for diffuse societal unease. The concept of energy extraction from human fear by reptilians is a chilling, albeit fictional, metaphor for how anxieties can be exploited or become self-sustaining. The human imagination, fueled by existing cultural tropes, science fiction, alien abduction narratives, can weave incredibly complex and internally consistent worlds, even without factual grounding. The detailed hierarchy of alien species, their motivations, and the gruesome experiments attributed to them demonstrate a remarkable capacity for creative storytelling, even if it's in the service of a non-factual claim. The process of believing and engaging with such narratives can be more compelling than the pursuit of verifiable truth for some individuals. This suggests that the symbolic power and psychological resonance of the story are what sustain it, rather than any evidentiary basis. It provides a framework for understanding a world that feels increasingly complex and out of control, offering a villain, a secret, and a hidden power dynamic. Disinformation, whether intentional or accidental, can have lasting and damaging effects on individuals and collective perception. The tragic outcome for individuals who suffer psychological breakdowns due to manipulation underscores the real human cost that can be exacted when the line between reality and elaborate fabrication blurs. In essence, the Dulce Base narrative is not just a story about aliens and secret bases, it's a profound reflection on the human mind's struggle to comprehend, explain, and cope with a world that often feels beyond its grasp, and how readily it can construct elaborate fictions when definitive answers are absent or distrusted. It teaches us about the potent interplay between fear, imagination, and the persuasive power of a compelling narrative, regardless of its truthfulness.